Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the trophy guide for What Remains of Edith Finch, this incredible little indie game I picked up and played recently and thoroughly enjoyed. So we're going to take a quick look at how to get a platinum on this in about 3 hours roughly, maybe a little more, maybe a little less, depending on how well you do. So let's get to the first trophy. Okay, the very first trophy that you can acquire is called All Roads. And what you need to do is take both roads up to the house. You can see the house up there in the distance. So this is a linear path until you come to a little fork in the road. Let's take a look at that fork. Now this can be done all in one playthrough. You can either go left through the woods or right up there, which follows the road to the house. So if you take the right way first, you'll get to a point where the two paths meet. You can go back down that path and then return if you'd like. This is what it looks like when you're heading through the woods themselves. Basically just go down here and there's a loose path that leads you through here, and again it will come out at the same place the other path goes. I'll show you where that junction is. So the two paths converge once you get up to this little carport here with the truck in it and the basketball net. There's really not much going on in here, but just past it is the house. Now you can head on up to the house. You won't be able to enter through the front door, but I'm not going to give you too many spoilers on that. Now there is something on the left-hand side of the house that a lot of people attribute to another trophy, but I don't believe it is one or part of it, but you may as well make sure you do it when you hit right around the corner of the house. Before you go in through the doggy door, there's a little hole in the fence that you can peek through. Now next up we're going to look at a closer look, which is another trophy you can get, and the way you get them is by peering through all of the little peepholes in the doors like you see here. So on the first floor you've got one for the library, and when you look through you get this distorted look of each of these rooms. Now you have to look at them long enough for Edith to start talking. Okay, and there's several of them on this first floor up here. You know, when you get to second floor up here, you got that one down there. That peephole that I just showed you through the fence, a lot of people think that's part of it, but I've heard that it's not. But like I said, you may as well look through it. So down here you got one for another room. Up here there's nothing, so don't worry about that. So that's two so far on this level. Then you got three more down the hall. One here, one there, and the last one right there. The next two peepholes you'll have to look through are a little bit further along in the game, as they belong to Milton and Lewis, who are a little higher up in the house. And you'll find them one right after the other. We just left Milton's area. We can head back, go up there, and straight ahead we've got Lewis's. Now the only peephole that is not in a doorway you'll find late in the game. You're going to head up near Odin's statue. Make sure you walk past him a little bit, and there's a little telescope you can look through down here. That'll get you that achievement. Now the achievement called Everything Ends is gained by playing through the story basically, and you complete everyone's stories. Now the stories you need to complete for this to happen are Molly, Odin, Calvin, Barbara, Walter, Sam, Gregory, Gus, Milton, Lewis, Dawn, and Edie. Now the Dawn and Edie ones kind of finish up as part of the actual game as you're going along, but each of the other ones you're going to find in various rooms around the house in all kinds of different ways. Sometimes they're little diaries, sometimes it's a little thing of pictures, whatever. There's a ton of different ways these stories are told, and you have to complete all those. I'm not going to put spoilers in for it, but they're all told in a crazy variety of fashions. Now let's look at some of the more specific trophies. Now the next two trophies, Great Owl and Let Him Finish, both happened during Molly's story, which is the first story you really come across inside the game. The Great Owl one is simple enough. There's a point in time during her story where you turn into an owl, you spot some rabbits, and you have to get two rabbits caught in one swoop each. So you basically line yourself up, hit R2, boom, grab the rabbit like that. You do that twice, you got that trophy. Now the next one, Let Him Finish, is still in Molly's story, and it's a little bit later on, you basically turn into this huge tentacle of this creature, this underwater Cthulhu type creature, I guess. But what you're going to do is you're going to enter this room, and you're going to get on this little boat. You're going to try to eat everybody on board. Second guy you come across is this sailor who's sitting there and singing. You have to let him finish his song. It'll take a little patience. Don't get too close, because I think if you get too close, the tentacle's automatically going to grab him. So you just sit there and wait for him to finish singing. As soon as he's done with the song, and you'll know when he's done, you get the trophy. Alright, another trophy is called Clear the Table. This occurs during Barbara's story, and you start that up by popping open this Dreadful Stories comic, which is very much like a Tales from the Crypt from, back in the day. And it plays out like a comic book the whole way through, but there's a certain part you get to. We'll go to that, and I'll show you what you got to do when you get there. You end up in the basement with a crutch in your hand. You come across a pool table, and you just have to walk around the table and knock all the pool balls off with the crutch. Controls are a little wonky. This is not a precision game, but it'll only take you a minute to do it, and that'll get you the trophy when all the balls are cleared off. So have at it. Now, during Sam's story, you can get the wildlife photographer trophy, and instead of taking a picture of your daughter, you pan to the right, go down, find that rabbit, take his picture, see? And hey, you got that trophy. Very easy one. Smile. Now, the Gregory trophy you get during his story, of course, and you get it by using this frog to jump up. You control him, and he's a little wonky, just like the pool balls. Oops, Mom will interrupt you. But you have to knock all the letters of his name off the side of the tub into the water. As soon as that's done, another easy trophy had. And it's, like I said, it's wonky, but it's definitely not impossible. Now, the loop-de-loop-de-loop and the replay a story one can be done after you finish with the game. You just go to the replay story options and replay Cal's little story here, which is basically him just swinging on a swing. So it's you pushing front and back with the left and right sticks over and over until that story part is done. That'll get you 2 trophies for the price of one right there. Cha-ching! Now, there's also a trophy called Thanks, Johan. And basically, the only thing you need to do with that is finish the game and start the credits rolling. And once you get to a fellow by the name of Johan, and here he is right here, he's the guy that designed the trophies and unlockables and stuff like that. So I guess he threw one in for himself, which in my book is pretty damn cool. So thanks, Johan.